Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Matthew E. Salas from iSales Solutions, and today we are talking about the Pipedrive mobile app. I believe that it's probably one of the most underutilized features that Pipedrive offers. And honestly, from my recollection, I've maybe had one or two clients have that as their buying criteria when they decide to use Pipedrive, and maybe one or two other clients who inquired about the Pipedrive mobile app after they already had their account set up and customized and everything. So from my experience over the last couple of years, not too many people are using it, but it can be very helpful. For me, some of the things that I really like about it is the fact that you can work offline, so you don't have to be connected to internet. You can take it Pipedrive with you on the go. It has a voice note feature, so again, if you're running around, you can just leave a voice note instead of having to do a written note like you do on the web app on the computer. And then also just the ability to use the nearby feature, which is where you can open up your Apple Maps or your Google Maps, and Pipedrive will show you where your contacts and organizations are located close by to you. That can be really helpful, obviously, if you're out knocking door to door, stopping in on a couple of the key accounts that you're trying to go after. That is a great way to really utilize the app and be able to do field sales very effectively. Now, for me in my situation, I use it all the time, mostly for using it offline. So, as a young dad with kids, I'm running all over the place all day between doctor's appointments and other, chores that I have to do outside the house. So whenever I have 5 or 10 minutes, or I'm waiting in a waiting room somewhere, I can go into that Pipedrive app, even if I'm offline, update what I need to update, follow up on, deals that I need to follow up on, and not worry about being right in front of the computer to make that work. So for me, the app has been great. I think it'll be very useful for you guys as well. Before we start the video, remember to like the video, comment if you have any questions or suggestions for other tutorials, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be notified whenever we put out a new Pipedrive training and tutorial video every Friday. All right, so now we're going to do the Pipedrive overview and navigation, and we'll be switching to a screen recording of my iPhone. All right, so to start out, when you log in, you're going to log into the focus screen. The focus screen gives you just a really quick overview of what's most important for you that day, the activities that are scheduled for the day, new emails that are unread, which contacts are closest to you if you're out prospecting, doing cold knocking on door to door, and also just the activities for the week. The next tab you're going to see is the deals tab, right? With the deals tab, you see the deals in the pipeline view, and we'll get more into that a bit later. After that, we have the activities. For the activities tab, you can see activities in list view or calendar view, and we'll again dive into that a little bit later. The next tab that you see is the contacts tab, and that shows both people and organizations. You'll see by default there's a recent contacted tab, but then there's also organizations and people. Finally, you have the More section. In the More tab, we have things like mail, statistics, nearby, and a whole bunch of other settings that we'll dive into. So the focus view is all about being able to see the most important things all in one screen here. At the very top, you're going to see the number of activities that are scheduled to you, where it says under your schedule, and to the right, you see that add section there. We can add a new activity. Underneath on the left-hand side, you are going to see your that red button there is the overdue activities and deals that have overdue tasks. You can see that right there. And then the next thing that you can click is that blue button that shows your unread emails, possibly from new clients. Down below, you'll see a list of all 7 days ahead, what are the activities that are scheduled for you, so that you can follow up and make sure you know what's ahead on your schedule and plan your week accordingly. If you want to add a new activity, you can do that just by hitting the plus sign under either of the sections there or the plus sign at the top. And it's just like scheduling activity in the Pipedrive web app. You put in the name of the activity and type of activity it is. You choose the time, uh, the start date and time, and the end date and time. You can put in notes. You have recorded, uh, the ability to also add in recorded audio, which is something that obviously is unique just to the Pipedrive mobile app. And then going down below, you're able to link the activity to a specific person, as we're doing right now, a specific organization, a specific deal, and going down below here, you just hit save and it's scheduled. You see it'll pop up on your activities list as well. The last important thing to notice is that at the top of the focus view, that's where you can do that universal search of your entire Pipedrive database. You can do that by just typing in that search bar up at the top. Moving away from the Pipedrive Focus tab, the next tab over is the Deals tab. Now for the Deal tab, it's very important to know that you're only able to see the pipeline view. You're not able to see the list view. Up at the top there, you're able to change pipelines where it just has a down arrow. But just by swiping left and right, you're able to change which pipeline you're looking at within your selected pipeline. And then in the top left, you're able to select filters that you've created in the web app, where those be public filters shared with you or private filters that you created yourself. Top right, you see that I'm just creating a new deal here. To do that, you can just put in a search for a person or put in a new person, new organization, uh, or just select an existing organization, right? So right there, I searched for an organization called Test Org. It wasn't there, so now I'm just creating it from scratch. Down below, you'll see the add more details. That's where you can add information for the custom fields that you have in your Pipedrive CRM. Then you just hit done, and then you can add in the name of the deal in that third spot right there. So I just call it test deal. And then moving on down, you can put in the deal value. Let's say we're going for 20,000, and you should be able then just to hit done. All right, so you see, you've created the deal. It'll open up that deal card for you. Let's just jump back into it really quickly. You can see you have the timeline view, and then if you can go over to the details and see a little bit more about the deal custom fields. All right, so that brings us to the end of the deal page right here, and then we'll be switching over to the activities tab next. When you switch over to the Activities tab, what you're going to see at first is the traditional list view of how you see, activities normally in your Pipedrive CRM. You had overdue activities up top and planned activities due sometime later in the future down below. You also have your calendar, which is an awesome way to see the actual structure of your day, how it should be planned out. And then when we get to filtering activities, we can filter by the when the activity is due, the activity type, and also who is the activity owner. Now just note as well that you can add new activities from the activity screen just by hitting that plus button in the top right. And there's another Google reminder there. So let's just put in a test activity like exactly that, test activity. Make sure we update the activity type. We'll put in the due date, say 5:30. And as we keep on scrolling down here, I will make sure it's connected to a person, organization, and a deal. All right, and hit save. So once I've saved that, you see it will pop up on the list. And then just last thing to notice about the deal tab, just like in Pipedrive, you're able to check off activities just by clicking the circles on the right-hand side. All right, so next is the Contacts tab. In the Contacts tab, as I mentioned before, the first thing that you're going to see is those contacts and organizations that you've reached out to or created recently, right? You can see a whole list of them right there. Also note that we do have the search bar where you can search for all contacts at the top in that white search bar right there. Apart from recents, we can see all people and organizations as well. So you can do that, and then you can filter on the left-hand side based off of any public or private filters that you have created or others have created for you in the mobile app. On the right-hand side, you're able to add people and organizations using that plus sign and add in those more custom fields by just hitting the Add More Details section.
All right. So now we move on to the last tab, which is the More section, those three dots there on the right-hand side. And the first thing you notice at the top of the list is to access the email. When you click on your email, by default, you're probably going to see just the unread messages, but you can also switch to seeing your entire email inbox, and you can use templates to draft new messages. It's going to push you out to your email app of choice on your mobile phone. And if I can just jump back over to the Pipedrive app here. All right. Um, and you're also able to reply or forward a message, that you have in your Pipedrive inbox. Now, keep on going. We're able to filter our inbox based off of, if it's linked to a deal or a contact person, if it's a shared email or not shared email. There's a whole bunch of ways that we are able to filter the mail section. After that, we have the statistics tab. This is something that I don't really think you can customize on the mobile app, but it gives you a really quick and easy rundown of what your sales pipeline looks like, what type of activities and how many activities have been completed, as well as emails being sent and received. And at the end, there's some additional stuff, I believe, about products as well. Now, for filters, you can filter these statistics by time frame and I think by user. All right, so now next we have down here is the nearby section, and the nearby section actually shows you what contacts, deals, organizations are close to you at the moment using a GPS. Again, this is really helpful for field reps who are out in the field. Really helps them to see what's around them, and obviously there's a couple filters that we can use here with address and other public filters that you can share for the nearby tab. Keeping going down here, the next important thing that we see is the preferences section. In the preferences section, we have the Pipedrive caller ID, so that when someone calls you on your mobile phone, Pipedrive can tell you who it is if it's a Pipedrive contact. Call logging means that any outbound calls you make will be logged in Pipedrive as well, as long as it's connected to a contact in your system. And keep on going down here, the open location. So if you're using that map feature, or you can open up in the Google Map or the Gmail, the Apple Map. Same thing with sending mail. Which apps do you want to use? Call integrations, you can call through WhatsApp as well as your normal phone. And then we have settings for the notifications from the Pipedrive mobile app. So that brings us to the end of the um, Pipedrive tab here, other than just there's some synchronization data settings. So once you connect to the internet again, and then also being able to import your phone contacts into your Pipedrive system. All very useful stuff in that more section, and I don't think that we use it enough. That brings us to the end of this screen recording of the mobile app, and let's switch back over to the normal video. All right, well, thank you guys for sticking with me through that Pipedrive tutorial for the iOS mobile app. Hopefully you guys learned a bit. I know I certainly did. Thank you for sticking with me as well as I continue to evolve my style, my editing. Before I just used Loom just to do the entire screen recording. This one was a bit different because it was screen capture on the iPhone and doing some voiceover. So if there's a little bit of a delay, or if the sound and the picture didn't match up perfectly, that was why. But I tried to do my best there. Hopefully, I was still of value to you guys. So I put in a little bit more time than I have in past videos to make this one happen, but I just felt like there wasn't a lot of resources online regarding the Pipedrive mobile app. So if you wouldn't mind, please hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and also put on that notification bell. If you have any questions or would like help with setting up your own Pipedrive account or customizing an account that you already have set up, me and my team are always more than happy to help. You can reach out to us either to me directly at matthew@isalessolutions.com, or filling out the form that we'll put in the description down below. If not, leave a comment, let us know what other tutorials you'd like to see, and until next time.